Hello, I'm jashykins, and here's my review of The Walking Dead episode Killer Within, and holy shit, this episode was intense. Let me start off with the two big pieces of news that highly affected my mental stability by the end of the episode. First off, T-Dog died. He died protecting Carol. Now the thing is, he was bitten on the neck, and so he's going to turn anyway, so he decides to sacrifice his life. So he has a fucking heroic death. That death was intense. That was tear-jerking. Then we have Lori dying. Now, I'm not a big fan of Lori. I mean, I'm glad she's off the show. Now we don't have to worry about her at all. But at the same time, the events surrounding her death really made me teary-eyed at this. It wasn't because she died, but because of how the others were affected. For one thing, Maggie had to perform a C-section on her to get the baby. And then Carl had to kill his mother so that she wouldn't turn. I mean, that's heartbreaking. And then, I want to say Andrew, but that's Andrew Lincoln, the guy who plays Rick. Rick just bawled over. He couldn't bring himself to do anything. His wife had died. Even though he wasn't too well off with Lori, deep down inside he still loved her because, I don't know, when you really love someone, you can't just turn off that love. And so he really deep down loved her, and so when she died, he just rolled on the floor crying. Now this is a man that's trying to be big and strong and defend the group, and here he is on the ground like a little baby. Wow. Oh yeah, there's also another storyline going on here, isn't there? There is. Michonne and Andrea are still in the town, and Andrea's decided that she wants to stay. And Michonne's like, we gotta go. And the governor doesn't really look like he's going to exactly allow them to escape. I mean, he's all like hunky-dory, but we saw him last episode. Last episode, he fucking killed some people for their supplies. So the chances of him actually letting them go, not going to happen most likely. And then one of my friends on Twitter brought up the fact of why is the governor doing this? I mean, personally, I think the governor is doing this for one main reason: power. I think the whole thing of him running this town is obviously not to be nice, because he's not really a nice guy. He's there just, he likes the power he has over people, that he can make do things and fear him. And one of my theories from last week's episode was that he knew about the true nature of the disease because either one, he was worked at a place like the CDC and so knew the details beforehand, or he killed some people. I think this episode has revealed that it was killing people. So yeah, I'm glad that the theories like that can be proven and disproven from episode to episode. So yeah, the governor's a nasty bastard. And so, since he wasn't in some high position beforehand, post-apocalypse, him having so much power probably is really good to a person who didn't have much power beforehand. Because me personally, as someone who's always really been in the background, getting any little thanks, recognition, fear is sort of nice to have. So I can understand the governor going about making a town for that reason. And I like how Michonne's acting very, very mysterious, very badass, very, you don't fuck with me. I highly enjoy that about her. And the governor and Andrea, I can see Andrea sort of liking him, and I still think Andrea's too much attracted to the bad guys of the season. I think if Andrea's attracted to a guy, from now on it should be a warning that that person isn't that good. And let's see what else. What else? Oh yeah, Carol. I get Carl and Carol sort of mixed up when speaking because they're so similar. But Carol, she either lived or she died. And we don't know which it is. But in The Talking Dead, they sort of seem to hint at that Carol's dead. It seemed to be hinting at that. And I really, really, really don't want that to happen, mainly because they sort of ship Carol and Daryl together, and I sort of want that pairing to be canon. I sort of want to see them together. I hate always shipping these non-canon pairings. Let's see, what else? What else can we talk about here? Oh, from a previous episode, Andrew, who we thought died when Rick threw him to the zombies, actually survived and plotted revenge against the group. And so he's really thinking about letting the zombies out, turning the alarm on. And then he was shot in the face. Guy did all that planning, and so he thought a fellow inmate would like him and choose him over Rick, and that turned out not to be the case. And so now we have two prisoners, former prisoners, that might very well likely join the team, which would be sort of neat to sort of expand the group since we lost at least 2 members, maybe 3 this episode. So that would be sort of nice to have them along. I don't really trust the one that's always whining, just because it's suspicious behavior. I just smell a bad guy in him. I actually thought he was the one to arrange everything so that the zombies were let loose, but it turns out it was Andrew instead. Yeah. Oh. I still want to see him as a bad guy. Can't remember the character's name, but I really wanted to see him turn out to be a bad guy. I don't know why, I just do. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? I mean, I started with talking about Lori and T-Dog's death, which were really the big part of this episode that really, really, yeah, I wasn't okay for a little bit after this episode, just because it was very intense, very draining. And that's been it. Long story short, The Walking Dead Killer Within. Awesome episode. This is just awesome. I don't see how they can continue this season with being as awesome as this. It's just wow. You just need to see it. It's awesome. Anyways, I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. If you want to contact me for whatever reason outside my blog or YouTube, you can do so at facebook.com/jashykins fan page or on Twitter at jashykins. If you're viewing this on the YouTube, subscribe, like, comment below. And if you're viewing this on my blog, thank you just for watching. And leave a comment below, of course. And if you want to help support this lovely blog, you can do so by going to the donate box, and there's 2 ways to donate so far. You can use the handy dandy donate button, or you can go to the link below it to my cafe press shop and buy an item or 2. And until next video, goodbye.